Okay. Round 2 coming up. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse playoff preview round 2, episode 1. This is going to be a very interesting episode if you are a Knicks fan or if you are a Boston fan and you're curious on how the Knicks could actually pull off a series victory here in round 2. As unlikely as that seems when you look at the regular season, as unlikely as it seems when you look at Boston's dominance in the playoffs the last season and a half, playoff season. We know that they are tough to beat. They are the reigning champions. Not much you can point to convincingly feel like the New York Knicks can win. But that's if you're only looking at the situation in a certain way, if you're only looking at the surface. If you drill deeper and you look at what little things the Knicks can do and big things the Knicks can do that are within their abilities. I'm not talking about, Mitch becoming a three-point shooter. I'm not talking about crazy things like that. What I'm talking about are all things the Knicks can do to actually pull off an upset in this series. As far as I'm concerned, if the Knicks win this series, the Knicks will win the championship unless injuries creep in. Because if they win this series, that means they will have pulled off an amazing upset over the best remaining team. I still believe the Celtics are the better playoff team than the remaining other teams right now. Better than OKC, better than the Cavs. I believe that it's very possible that if the Knicks don't beat the Celtics will probably end up repeating as champions. But we all know how incredibly difficult it is to repeat as champions, and that's one of the major obstacles that the Boston Celtics face in general. Now, that doesn't mean the Knicks will be the team that beats them, but repeating is just it's really difficult. Last team to repeat were the Golden State Warriors, almost 10 years ago, right? 8 years ago, something like that. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot, especially in today's day and age, with analytics and basically with the minutes, with health being a major issue. So Boston Celtics are, I wouldn't say they're limping in, but they're not doing that great in terms of health. Jaylen Brown has a knee issue, and Jason Tatum has a wrist issue. And Drew Holiday, who is a key element for the Celtics in general, especially against a team like the Knicks, he has been cleared to play on Monday. However, he's recovering from a hamstring injury, and you know how hammies are; they can like immediately spark back up and make life really difficult for you. So they're not fully healthy. Now the Knicks, let's just be reasonable here, aren't fully healthy either. Karl-Anthony Towns has the knee tendonitis, and he's always flicking his finger, and he had some back issue in Game 6 against Detroit. And Brunson is constantly rolling his ankle. Even the garden floor, the MSG garden floor rolls his ankle. So there's Josh Hart has the knee tendonitis as well. Runner's knee. Deuce doesn't look quite right. So there are a lot of other issues, offense, but that's to be expected when you're here in the playoffs. The beauty of the playoffs is, in terms of health issues, there are no back-to-back games, and often you get an extra night in between that you don't get normally during the regular season, where you play almost every other night. So those things help you recover, and the Knicks had a couple days to recover, but so did Boston. So it's just a matter of who is healthiest going into this round 2 matchup. This matchup should have been the Eastern Conference Finals matchup last year. So because of injuries, we got robbed. Everybody got robbed. New York Knicks fans got robbed. And the Pacers, I think, were swept by the Celtics. So there wasn't even a series last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks could have given them a series, and now they're back. They are actually going to face them, except they're going to do it in the semifinals. Is it even possible at all? It is. I got that for you guys. Let's get to it. But before we begin, please subscribe. Turn on a notification bell so you are alerted when I drop a video or go live, and hit the thumbs up button for me. But most importantly, drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings about anything I've said here or anything I've overlooked. You guys are my collaborators here on the Knicks-Verse. All right, so why can Knicks win series versus champion Celtics? Well, for one, I pretty much in my opening outlined a few of the things. One, it's just difficult to repeat. Health issues. Boston's health issues might be more critical than the Knicks. We'll see. Those are two of the major things that I see in terms of how the Knicks even can be in the conversation. Because even when you look at this is what everyone else thinks right now. Tim McMahon from ESPN, he thinks Celtics in 6, which I gotta say, nice shout out for the Knicks there, because a lot of people were saying before Knicks would get swept if they face them. So things have changed a little bit, have softened a little bit. But Kevin Pelton, he thinks Knicks in 5. Ramona thinks Knicks in 6. This guy Snelling's 7. I don't know who he is. Sedano, I know him. He's in 6. This guy Brembry in 5. McMenamin, Celtics in 7. Collier in 6. Chris Herring, who definitely has covered the Knicks. He knows the Knicks pretty well. He thinks the Knicks can barely win one game off of them. Mark Spears, Celtics in 6, and Jimmy Woo, Celtics in 6. The final tally, that right there, you see it, Boston 11 to New York 0. And that, I have no issues with that. If I were to sit here and tell you, these guys are crazy, they're ridiculous, the Knicks are going to come out and win, I would be a fool. I would look like an idiot, and I would lose all credibility. There's a certain formula that the Knicks have to adhere to defeat these Boston Celtics. Now, the formula is unkind to the Knicks. They basically have to do all of it to give themselves a legit chance. They do need some help from the Celtics themselves, but I did not go focus on that. I just focused on what the Knicks need to do in this series, and I have 12 actual key points to outline for you guys, and we're going to get to it right now. Number 1, essential. Number 1, Josh Hart makes Celtics pay. Knicks can win if Josh Hart makes Celtics pay. Josh Hart is a playoff riser once again this year. He rose last season. He was incredible, shooting from the 3-point line, and it helped us get past the Sixers. He's doing it again. He did it against the Detroit Pistons. He shot 50% from 3. If the Celtics leave him wide open, they will be punished, because I think Josh Hart is ready for the moment. He's not going to no longer catch the ball out on the 3-point line with no one near him and look scared, look afraid, look like a doe in the headlights, like he doesn't know what to do. No, he's going to, if he is wide open, he has been instructed to let it fly. I don't care if he ends up shooting 10 or 12 3-pointers. He must shoot them. It has to happen, and he's also been shooting at a tremendous 50%. He's shooting 50% overall in the playoffs so far, and 50% from the 3-point line. Now, it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty when he lets it fly, but as long as it goes in, honestly, if he shoots 35% from the 3-point line, I'll take it. Of course, 50% would be fabulous. Look, he is a playoff riser. I think there's a nice happy medium in there, which is about 40%, 42%. Remember, he's going to be taking these wide open. So that is a key. The Knicks can do that. I'm telling you, it's well within their wheelhouse. Number 2, more blockness. Robinson changes everything. The double big lineup creates matchup advantages for New York that the Celtics cannot handle. And a defensive boost that Mitch gives New York is significant. He changes the whole trajectory of it all. There is a great highlight of Mitch helping to OG guarding Tatum out there right now. I was trying to have it for you guys, but it's out there right now. You guys should check it out. He impacts the game tremendously defensively, and that's what we need the Knicks to do. And help in the double big lineup. It worked. It worked well with the Pistons. Wasn't outstanding, but it definitely helped defensively, and it actually makes Cat's life a much easier. And we need Cat to stay as fresh as possible throughout an entire 48 minutes of play. Definitely, this is essential. Mitch only played against him in Game 4, and that's one of the reasons the Knicks went to overtime in Game 4, was because of the play that Mitch Robinson delivered defensively in that game. Now, Boston did have less to play for in that game. Obviously, they were already, number 2 seed and all that, but they played almost fully healthy. I think only Al Horford didn't play that game, and Mitch Robinson definitely was a key aspect, and now we're going to have him for every single game in this series. I think he is a tipping point that didn't exist before. Okay. Number 3, this is essential. Weaponize amnesia. Build on Game 4. When New York pushed Boston to overtime. The first 3 regular season games mean nothing. Robinson only played in the final game. That's basically how I feel. You guys might think it's crazy to think one guy could have that much of an impact. Well, watch those Detroit series. He played less than 20 minutes a game. Tremendous impact. And I think the Knicks, the formula that they had going in Game 4 with adjustments, could lead to victories here in the playoffs for the Knicks. Number 4, Game 4, Cat needs to shows up for the entire series, plus lets the 3-ball fly. He was a beast. He had like 34 points against the Celtics in Game 4, but he barely shot from the 3-point line. He averaged less than 3 3-point attempts versus Boston in the regular season. Towns needs to average at least 7 per game in this playoff series. I would prefer if he was the one letting 10 3-pointers fly. That has to happen. It's a tremendous imperative that he does this, because they're going to have a guy on their side of the floor who's 7 feet, who will be launching 3-pointer after 3-pointer and making them. So Cat needs to be the answer back to that. Has to happen. Number 5. Knicks hoist more threes and suffocate 3-point line. New York averages nearly same amount of 3-point attempts as Celtics while shooting 37+% and force Boston into being a mid-range team. This is what needs to happen. It's not what has happened. But Knicks have definitely had an impact. They've had a positive result lately guarding the 3-point line. This not new, but basically more committed to closing out hard on 3-point shooters. That's been coming of late, which is good, because now is when we desperately need it, especially against a team like the Celtics, who are averaging 48 3-point attempts. Actually, in the playoffs, what are they averaging in the playoffs? I had that here before. My apologies. See, in the playoffs, no, they're down. They were down to 31.2. But in the regular season, the Celtics were number 1, averaging 48.2. That's one of the key reasons why the Magic were able to win one game off of them, and actually were close to winning a second game, because they reduced the amount of actual 3-point attempts that the Celtics had. Knicks need to follow that same formula. It can happen, but the Knicks also have to stay. They have to stay have the same amount of 3-point attempts as the Celtics. If the Celtics shoot 32, Knicks need to have 30. If they shoot 36, we need to have at least 32. If they shoot 40, we need to be up like 37, 38. We have to. There's just mathematically, it's impossible to actually pull off wins. Not stay competitive in a game, but pull off wins if the disparity is too great, like it has been in the regular season. All right, and the beauty is, if you are playing the double big lineup, so if they try to get into the paint, they're going to meet Mitch Robinson. He's going to greet them with hostility, and he's going to make them pay for that. So they will counter by taking more mid-range shots, and we know the mid-range is Death Valley in terms of analytics, unless you're hitting them at an incredibly high clip. The beauty is The Knicks have outstanding mid-range shooters in Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, even Deuce McBride is a cat. I mean, that baseline turnaround he hit was just magnificent. So this would be an interesting, if the Knicks can force us into being a mid-range battle, they have a tremendous opportunity to pull off a win. All right, keep going. Number 6, stingy Knicks continue. Knicks take care of the ball and force Celtics to turn it over at least 17 times per game. Sometimes 15 is okay, but I want them to be just turning that ball over left and right while the Knicks are convincingly winning the conceded points battle. That's how many points a team gets off of the other team's turnovers. They have to win that battle. They did against the Celtics when they did win the turnover battle. Against the Pistons, they didn't sometimes. And that's because the Pistons are younger, longer, and more athletic and quicker. That's right. Duren and Thompson are unbelievable threats. They hunt you down. How many times did we see OG get blocked from behind? Hart get blocked. That's not going to happen against the Celtics. Kristaps may, if he's out far by the three-point line, it's a shorter distance for him to cover. He may get back and block a shot or two, but you're not going to see that from too many people. Derek White is a potential concern for that, but not nearly as much as Thompson and Jalen Duren were in the previous series. So that is another key thing. And remember, this is the Knicks. The Knicks already are a stingy team when it comes to turnovers, and they've been great at forcing steals. They actually, I believe, in the playoffs are one of the top teams in creating steals. Yes, they are. They're almost at 9 steals per game. Right there, tied with Golden State Warriors. Cleveland was second with 10, and OKC was first with almost 11. So the Knicks are right there. They've been doing it. They don't have to do things differently than what they were doing necessarily. They have to just do them better and more often. Number 7. You're probably stunned that I waited for this until number 7. Well, because I'm so confident that this is going to happen, I didn't need to put it up front. Brunson burner continues scorching playoffs. Key point number 7. Jalen averages 30-plus points per game with his regular season efficiency. That's what I want to see, more efficiency from him. He wasn't that efficient in the playoffs. I want to see more efficiency from him in the against this series against the Boston Celtics. It's imperative. It's imperative that the Knicks are just efficient across the board. In the regular season against Boston, Jalen averaged almost 53% overall from the field and over 43% from the three-point line, and he hit all 18 of his free throws, 100% free throw shooting. That needs to continue. For example, against the Pistons, he averaged only 43.6% from the field, and he made 1 out of 3 three-pointers. But he did shoot 81.5% from the floor, from the free throw line. So all this is possible. Knicks Brunson was already doing this. This is actually the stats against Boston themselves. So he could be up to 32, 35 points per game. He could average that. It could be possible. And then number 8, Anunoby suffocates Tatum. Tatum is I think he's the number 2 or 3 leading scorer in the playoffs, right behind Brunson and Giannis. If OG can have an impact, at least to push him to being an inefficient version of Jason Tatum. He shot only 4 of 16, 25%, over 89 possessions when defended by OG. Meanwhile, Anunoby must deliver at least 18 points per game on efficient shooting, especially from the three-point line. In the playoffs, he's shooting 35% from the three-point line. If he can get that up to 40%, which is where he has in the past, that would be a tremendous advantage for the New York Knicks. And he averaged 17.3 points per game against the Detroit Pistons. 18 is not insurmountable for him. He could average 20. That's very possible. Number 9, the New York Knicks can win if they get Boston into foul trouble, and the New York Knicks they drain their free throws. So get the Boston into foul trouble and then go to the free throw line and drain those things, swish those things. Knicks hit free throws at a sizzling rate, 82%. in the series. Let's hope in this series they can. Right now they're averaging 81.5. What are they averaging for as a team? As a team, the Knicks are averaging. They're down to 77.1%. But in the regular season, the Knicks averaged 80%. 80% from the free throw line. So, you know what? We got it at 80%, be fine. 82% is more wishful. But 80%, if they can deliver regular season free throw percentages in this second round, tremendous advantage for the Knicks. If Knicks had hit their free throws in Game 4, they were at 60% in Game 4 against the Celtics. If they had hit at 80%, they would have won that game. Number 10. Knicks never let Celtics build big leads. If you do, you're going to spend so much energy trying to get back in the game, and you're not going to have much left for the end. And then, remember, you have the next game to play. So the key is, at the most, maybe 12-point leads, 15 maybe, but they can't let it go past that. They have to keep it all within striking distance. It's much easier to go on when you're down 14 or 15 and you go on an 8-0 run. It's much easier to go on an 8-0 run. Now the game's only 6 points. Then you get a few stops, go on another run. Maybe exchange baskets for a little bit, and then you go on another run, and now you're tied game, and then who knows what can happen. Because if they keep games close late, and Captain Clutch delivers game winners, that's how the Knicks can win. And we know that he's clutch player of the year. Clutch player of the year. So they cannot let them build big leads. That is essential. So that is game management. That's Thibs. That's Brunson. They have to be on it. If the Celtics are going on a little bit of a run, like an 8-0 run, timeout immediately. Don't let it get to double digits. Before a timeout, get everyone back on the same page. Call it like a money play, so you know you're going to get points in the next series, the next possession you have. Must. This is a must do. Number 11. We're getting close to the end. There's only 12. This is crucial as far as I'm concerned. Crucial. And again, very doable. Keep Mikal fresh. Keep him on Brown or White. The less Bridges guards Jason Tatum, the better. The less he has to chase through screens, the better. He'll be on offense, because this is not just about the defense. Yes, he's a liability against Tatum. Tatum knows how to exploit him. But yes, and that hurts. But he exerts so much energy guarding Tatum that it reduces him on the offensive end. I think he only averaged about 13 points a game against the Celtics. He definitely was struggling. So the less that he has to guard Tatum, the better. And it will help him. And hopefully the Game 6 version of Mikal that we saw against the Detroit Pistons that delivered 25 points and a key putback at the end will still be there for us. I think it is. I think he might have figured a few things out. He might be beginning to take a little level up. He's figuring out who he is in the context of this New York Knicks team right now, and I like what I'm beginning to see. I wish I would have seen it earlier in the season, and we did for stretches. When Brunson was out, he was fantastic. In December, Mikal was fantastic. So he's shown us these glimpses. He needs to put it together for this series. And a key thing is to not overplay him, which comes to the bench. Deuce and Cam deliver key minutes. Crucial. Thibs utilizes an 8 to 9 deep bench. Keeps starters as fresh as possible. Even if we are losing those minutes, I believe that is essential, because that's what gives you the opportunity to make those runs later on and have the runs be sustainable. We've seen little runs, 8 points here, or they'll chop a 15-point deficit down to 5. But by that point, they're so exhausted. So the key is not let the leads let them build big leads and not burn out your starters. They all work together as far as I'm concerned. And Delon Wright and Shamet must see some court time here against these Boston Celtics. I like their size, their length, and they both can shoot the three. Let's do it. That's it. That's it right there. These are the keys. The Knicks can pull this out, can pull off a miracle if they follow those 12 key points right there. There's not anything there that I don't think is really achievable for them. OG, if OG plays Tatum tight, it might take something out of his legs on the offensive end, so maybe expecting him to average 18 points a game might be rough, but if he can still hit a couple threes per game, shoot those at 38%, then I can live with that. The key is to not let Tatum just explode with high efficiency. He may still get 30 points, but we want him to struggle for it. We want him to take 30 shots to get 30 points, and that's something that OG can do. Now, we're going to wrap this up. I have my summation. So, in summary, the Knicks must stay poised, connected, and balanced, must retain constant ball and player movement. They must fight for every possession, get out on the break. They must hunt three-pointers. They must battle fiercely on the boards. Sick OG on Tatum for 48. Get Mikal to feast on offense, and New York must get Boston into foul trouble early while hitting their free throws at a high rate. New York does all this, they can win in 6. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. I am definitely curious to hear your thoughts and feelings about everything here. Anybody, Knicks fans and Celtics fans. And I cannot wait. I think it's going to be a fantastic series regardless what happens. The Knicks they learned a lot in that series against the Detroit Pistons. It was a tough physical battle. I don't believe this series will be as physical upon them, but they can maintain the same physicality they had against Detroit and put that on the Celtics. Another advantage that could be in Knicks' favor. It comes down to, man, protecting that ball, making buckets. It can happen. The New York Knicks, I like the vibe right now. I want to see, I want to see them steal game 1. Okay, thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button for me. Follow me on social media, and definitely, and most importantly, drop your comments and share this video. Sharing the video would really be helpful as well. We're very close to 10,000 subscribers. Very close. What are we at right now? 9,977. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, you can be one of the ones that get us over 10K. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.